Welcome back to Global Yearbook, the show that rewinds the calendar and fast-forwards your curiosity. Today, we're landing in Mexico, 1966, a year of towering stadiums, booming cities, rising television signals, and a country confidently stepping onto the global stage. Think concrete, culture, color, and just enough chaos to keep things interesting. Ready? Let's count down the top 10 news stories of Mexico in 1966. In May 1966, Mexico City unveiled the Estadio Azteca, a colossal stadium that instantly became one of the world's largest sporting arenas. Built for over 100,000 fans, it symbolized Mexico's global ambitions and its readiness to host massive international events just a couple of years later. With the 1968 Olympics fast approaching, 1966 became a year of construction cranes and civic ambition. Roads widened, stadiums expanded, and infrastructure surged. Mexico City wasn't just getting ready to host athletes. It was preparing to introduce itself to billions watching from around the world. Mexico's famous economic boom, known as the Mexican Miracle, powered ahead in 1966. Factories multiplied, exports expanded, and urban jobs attracted migrants from rural areas. Growth felt unstoppable. The middle class expanded, and refrigerators, televisions, and cars slowly became symbols of modern Mexican life. Television exploded in popularity across Mexico during the mid-1960s. And 1966 helped cement its role as the country's storyteller. News, variety shows, and sports reached millions. Suddenly, families gathered nightly around glowing screens, turning living rooms into tiny theaters of national identity. Rural Mexicans poured into cities throughout the 1960s, and by 1966 the transformation was impossible to ignore. Mexico City grew into a sprawling megacity in the making. New neighborhoods popped up overnight, sometimes faster than plumbing or roads could keep up. Urban ambition racing infrastructure to the finish line. Though the golden age of Mexican cinema had peaked earlier, 1966 still buzzed with cultural production. Films, ranchera music, and television variety shows kept national icons in the spotlight. Mexican pop culture wasn't fading. It was reinventing itself for a younger, increasingly urban audience. State-owned oil operations continued expanding in the 1960s, and 1966 reflected Mexico's growing confidence in its natural resources. Petroleum production helped fund development and industry. Pipelines stretched farther, refineries grew busier, and energy quietly became one of the country's most powerful economic engines. Scientific modernization gathered momentum in 1966, with universities expanding research and technical education. Engineers, architects, and scientists were becoming national heroes, designing cities, communication systems, and infrastructure. Mexico was investing in brains as much as bricks, betting on knowledge to fuel long-term growth. Football dominated headlines, but Mexico's sporting culture in 1966 stretched beyond stadium walls. Boxing champions, baseball teams, and Olympic hopefuls captured public imagination. Sports weren't just entertainment. They were national pride, broadcast into homes and celebrated in crowded neighborhood arenas. 1966 also quietly welcomed future public figures into the world. Children who would one day shape politics, sports, and entertainment. History doesn't just happen in stadiums or parliaments. Sometimes it begins in maternity wards, where tomorrow's leaders take their very first breath. So that was Mexico in 1966. A nation building stadiums, growing cities, launching television dreams, and racing toward a future that looked brighter every year. Concrete rose, cameras rolled, crowds cheered, and somewhere in the middle of it all, Mexico found its modern rhythm. Next time, we rewind another country, another year, and another set of stories that shape the world you live in today. Until then, stay curious, stay global, stay tuned.